work hard at school if you're currently upgrading or you're in matric. Work hard at school. Try to get the best marks as possible. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Apply everywhere and anywhere. That is high key.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Becoming Dr. Andy. I would like to welcome you again on another episode of my podcast where I get to sit down with health sciences students or healthcare professionals to talk more about their careers and their journey through healthcare. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about all things dentistry. All the things that you need to know if you want to study dentistry. And of course, I am joined by the amazing Luhlile Mali, who also goes by the name Tooth Fairy on her social media. She is a final year dentistry student at University of Western Cape. She's going to be sharing more about her career and her journey through dentistry so far. Hey, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for agreeing to have this conversation with me, because I also get asked a lot of questions about dentistry, but seeing the work that you do on social media and you sharing about your career, I thought why not have you over to actually answer the questions yourself. So basically on today's conversation, you are going to be sharing with people about the dentistry program, especially high school students who would like to study dentistry, and you're going to tell us more about your journey through dentistry. But first of all, I just want you to introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? And yeah.
Okay. Well, my name is Luhlile Mali. It means Grace has fallen. I am from Eqwebeja in the Eastern Cape, born and raised there. And this is my first time actually living outside from where I'm from. So my entire life was spent solely in Eastern Cape.
I actually know you from social media, right?
Yes.
And I was like, yo, she's doing such an amazing job. You know, as a fellow creator, I know the amount of work it takes for you to be consistent with your studies and, creating content on social media. And the work that you do is so inspiring, and I think also a lot of people who follow you as well are so inspired by your work. So I thought actually you are the perfect person for me to have as a guest on my podcast. But I just want to ask this question before we actually start our conversation. Why did you choose dentistry? Why dentistry?
I feel like dentistry chose me actually because I was initially interested in doing medicine.
Yeah.
So I always knew that I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to help people, but I just didn't know where my life would take me.
Yeah.
So as a young girl, I thought about dentistry, being a dentist, because my uncle was, but that was just primary school.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I actually worked hard to be in medicine, but unfortunately, I didn't get taken. But I did apply at UWC. It was a last minute thing. I was actually encouraged by my dad, who reminded me of the amazing work that my uncle does.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me just apply and see what happens.
Okay.
So I didn't hear a response from UWC, which was very disheartening. But when I got a call, I think January or February, when I was already registered at NMU. I was going to do a BSc in microbiology. So I was already settled, had my student card and everything. Jiggy, 2 days later, they're calling me, they have an offer at UWC.
Wow, that's amazing.
Obviously, I took it because I'm going to Cape Town.
Yeah.
So I took it and I never looked back.
This is actually such an inspiring story, given how much you've went through to get to where you are. And I mean, I think also it is an important thing to have a good second option, because your dentistry was your second option, but you're actually happy about it. You're proud that actually you chose to be a dentist. And usually people, when they choose second options, they just choose something random because they are always so sure that they're gonna get their first option. So it worked out for you to actually have a proper second option that you are now happy about. So please explain to us what dentistry is. Like, what is the actual degree? I know like medicine is like Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. Like I really want to know what is dentistry, what is like the name of the qualification.
Okay, so the qualification that I'm doing is Bachelor of Dental Surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So there's in dentistry people tend to get confused because there's also OH, which is oral hygiene,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also get dental technology, which is like 3 different things, but in dentistry.
Mm.
So for us, we are doing Bachelor of Dental Surgery. So that includes extractions, doing fillings on patients, constructing dentures, false teeth, making crowns, crown and bridge work.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
But we actually, when people, they tend to get confused because with dental technology, the technicians are actually doing the actual crown, they're doing the actual bridge. Whereas us, we take the impressions. And then for oral hygiene, they focus solely on cleaning and basic fillings. But we are the guys who give the prescriptions.
Okay.
the
Okay.
instructions, yeah.
So I just, out of interest, would like to ask this question. Do you, like, all of you get the doctor title?
No.
No, is it
So,
only
Yes,
your
it's only
bachelor's of
BDS.
dent? Oh, okay,
Bachelor,
okay.
yes.
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
So, how long does it take for like each one of you to study? How long is the degree?
So with oral hygiene, it's 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then for BDS, it's a maximum of 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think with technicians, they study for 4 years.
Oh, okay. So I think today we're gonna be focused mostly on your career because I mean we're never gonna finish if we explore all 3 of them. But then, for interest's sake and for people to know that okay, dentistry, it's not just like one thing. There are 3 things, and I think it's important as well when you like apply as a high school student. Like you might be applying for, you thinking you're applying for BDS, but you're
you're
actually
not.
applying for like oral hygiene, and then you discover along the way. So it is important for you to check exactly what you are applying for and actually know how are they different basically. But now let's talk about BDS. So which universities in South Africa offer BDS?
So you obviously have UWC,
Mhm.
University of Western Cape. You have UP.
Mhm.
The program in WITS, I'm not sure if it's still running, but I don't think they're taking any applications right now.
Why not? What happened?
A lot of it's happening in WITS. I'm not politically
Yeah.
knowledgeable.
Oh, is it political related?
They have their own issues, so they decided to close the program. So they're no
Okay.
longer offering BDS at their university,
Okay.
which is quite sad
Mm.
because now there's more influx of students or matrics
In
who
other
want to,
universities.
who want to
Oh.
try to get to like
Mm.
BDS, and there's more competition now.
Oh yes. Is it only those 3 universities?
No, there's also SMU. They
Okay.
also offer.
Uh-huh.
And then if you're looking to do oral hygiene, you get also UWC, you get SMU, you get UP, WITS.
Mhm.
You also get other technicons that also offer oral hygiene.
So which means then the competition is really tough. It's like only a
high.
few
It's
universities
high.
that offer BDS. So what actually are the requirements to get into dentistry? Like which subjects do you really need to take, and like what is the minimum percentage that you need to get for each subject?
Okay, for this, the requirements would be you have to do your sciences. So
Mhm.
both sciences, physical science and life science.
Okay.
You have to do your maths,
Mhm.
core maths. You have to do your languages, whether it's first additional or home language.
Is that English?
Yes,
Okay.
English and other languages also, because we are a rainbow nation afterwards.
Yeah.
And those are the main ones that you actually need
Mm-hmm.
to do dentistry, because they come back in first year. You do your physics again, you do your life
Oh,
science again.
really?
Yeah, they come back, and you even do language and additional language. So you don't run away. It's first year is like a
I thought it was only
continuation.
like medicine or I don't know. Like I never understood why we had to do physics in first year.
I don't understand
I mean-
either. I don't understand.
I'm just like, we've already done it. We've already proved ourselves that we actually can do this thing. Why are we doing it in first year? But it's actually like so interesting to know how similar it is when it comes to our degrees. So like I want to know, is it similar? Is it like the same across all universities that you really have to take physical sciences and life sciences, or other universities do accept if you don't have physics but you have life sciences, or you have life sciences but you don't have physical sciences?
That's actually a really good question. I'm not really sure about the exact requirements for UP and all the other universities that offer BDS.
Yeah.
But the main ones, your sciences and maths, are always there. I mean, we're doing help afterwards, so you need a basis. And with the APS score, if you're matriculant looking to study BDS at UWC, you're looking at a APS score of 41
minimum. What?
So,
isn't it 42 maximum?
It's maximum. I say minimum because people always come to me and ask me, I did this subject in high school. I'm trying to upgrade. Or these are my metric marks. What do you think? And I hate to say this, but they always take the top students. So even if I always check the requirements for UWC because there's always someone in my DMs asking me what is the minimum, what is the minimum. So you're looking at your 50s, you're in your 50s, but let's be honest, they really go for
because
the
of
top.
the competition.
And also when you compare when I applied, which was 2018, 2017, compared to 2023, like the stakes are even higher now. So you can't compare what I got or how I got in to your current situation right now. So that's the difficulty, and also the competition with the limited universities that actually offer the course.
I think also like people kind of like find it difficult to understand between minimum requirements and admission requirements, because minimum can be 50 but they are actually admitting 90s, if that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
But now like it is really important also like to know the minimum requirements, because I feel like at now stage universities are so brutal. Like if they say minimum requirements is 60% and you apply with a 55, some of them like reject you automatically, like within a week you got the rejection letter. So like at least I just want to know like at least what's like the minimum percentage for your maths, physical sciences and life sciences.
Okay, so like I said, they're in the 50s, so you're looking at 56. Those those are the minimum. But obviously they're not looking for that, because I even spoke to one of my professors and he had a student from back home who was interested in doing BDS and everything. So he asked me, okay, what was your APS score? And I told him I got a 43. And then he was like, well, that's crazy. They rejected someone who got 50, like they were doing extra subjects and everything. And they're like, they rejected them. And I was like, that's ridiculous, because that's like, what else are you supposed to get?
Honestly,
there's no 100%.
But like, does the APS include life orientation?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
yes,
that makes sense. Because I was like 43, how? Because I mean, if you got all distinctions without life orientation, maximum is 42. It's like you were doing 7 subjects. But then it makes sense if they include life orientation, then maximum would be 49. Okay, so I just want to know if also, do you need to write MBT?
Yes, you do.
And you write
my MBT.
Oh, so you write your maths, the AQL, and all of that stuff. Okay, I think going back to the actual conversation about qualifying to study. So how about someone who tried applying and didn't get in first try? What is your advice on what exactly they should actually do? Like, what are their options?
So if you are a student or a matriculant who's interested in getting into BDS, but you don't get accepted immediately, I always suggest that you go to the next best option, something closer to what you want to do. So that'll be your option of doing oral hygiene. So you can either do that for the full 3 years, or you can transfer during the course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know like what are the requirements of transferring?
I'm not sure about the requirements, but most of the students we have, because we have classmates who transferred from BOH to BDS. So you have to work on your marks. They look at the marks that you've been working on throughout your course so far in the one that you're doing currently. And then they also look at your matric results.
Okay.
So that plays a role in your acceptance in doing BDS.
So basically, you just have to work hard and make sure that you get the best marks as possible so that you can get it. Okay. So for upgrading students, how is the application process different? Do they have to follow different steps, or they can just apply as matriculants who just finished?
With upgrading students, they apply as matriculant students that have finished, but they also put in that they are still upgrading their marks so that the application can be considered. And this one is very difficult because not a lot of upgrading students get the chance to study BDS, but it's not an impossible situation to do.
What do you mean, like not a lot get the chance?
Because this question I get asked a lot in my DMs, and I get paragraphs, which is so sad because I wish I could help, but I'm not in admin. So they tell me that no, they applied, they got the rejection letter, but they are currently upgrading their marks.
Oh, it's because they assess them according to the
previous metric. So that's where it gets a bit tricky for them.
But is that I'm always wondering, because also for medicine they do ask me the same question. But I think when you apply, I'm not sure, but I think there should be an option that you are currently in grade 12 or you have a matric certificate already. But it is something that obviously I would have to go back and confirm. But it is, because I think if they do accept upgrading students to apply, I don't think they just build up a system to disadvantage them, because it doesn't make sense.
It wouldn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. So I think it is either, number one, the university doesn't accept upgrading students at all, or number two, there is a step that you are missing when you are applying in terms of selecting what you are. Because when you apply, they ask you, okay, are you currently pursuing a degree, or are you still in high school, or do you hold your matric certificate, what is your highest qualification, something like that. And you kind of have to choose the perfect one for you, right? Are you still in school, are you done? And then I think then it will channel you accordingly, but I am not sure 100% about that. So actually I am interested to know exactly what do you guys study in those 5 years. I know, honestly, a lot of people who don't know much about dentistry, me included, I am thinking, how come you guys study about taking out a tooth for 5 years? Because that's the length of a medical degree, and we get to study the whole human body, and you guys are specifically focusing on the mouth and stuff like that. So I just want you to give us a breakdown from first year going to your final year on what exactly do you study.
Okay, so I'm gonna speak in the perspective that I was pre-COVID. So post-COVID, it's a different program. So pre-COVID, obviously I did my first year in 2019. So I was straight from high school. Then I went straight to university. So first year was basically a continuation of high school.
Really?
I did my life sciences. I did my human biology, which continued into second year hub. I did my physics. We also did a bit of maths, which was a bit crazy because I was like, when am I ever going to calculate? I'm taking out a tooth. I'm not going to be doing calculations.
You did maths.
Please.
We never did maths. We don't do maths.
It was stats. So also there's maths in physics. So you do calculations also. Yes. So that's where the maths came back, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. The trauma is over. So
was that only first year?
Yes, that was our first year. Our first year was not looking like
anything like
dentistry.
No.
The most we had to dentistry was a module called clinical dentistry and dent, and we still do it now, but it's called something else now. We call it CPM.
Okay.
But it's a module that carries you throughout the 5 years.
Okay.
So in second year, that's when we started being introduced to, we were supposed to be introduced to doing patients, like simple procedures, but unfortunately because of COVID, our program was delayed.
Oh, that's sad.
So we continued with hub, we did other modules, and then third year is when things got real. Like we actually
Now
become
you're
dentists
studying
now.
dentistry.
Now
okay.
we're studying dentistry. We're looking at our oral. I think we got introduced to a little bit of oral pathology. So it was baby steps and being introduced in our different clinics because we have different departments. We've got prosthetics, we've got conservative dentistry, we've got oral surgery, we've got pediatric dentistry.
Oh,
so we slowly
so you
were
have
being
all
introduced.
these like departments
Yes.
that you have to rotate.
So from third year, that's when we started being introduced into different departments.
Oh, okay.
And now we're just having clinics all the time.
So you guys study like a whole human body anatomy, not only just the mouth and...
No, we did the whole body. We even had clinical sessions where we could, like, there was cadavers and we could open. Yeah, it was very much interesting, but COVID robbed us from doing a lot of things.
So you did dissections?
We did dissections.
Wow.
We saw the human eye. It was crazy. I actually really enjoyed the hub, but unfortunately, it was cut short for us.
The way I am so shocked is because of how similar like our degrees are actually at the beginning. Because I thought, I mean, you guys just get straight into the mouth, you do. And to actually know that you studied anatomy and you actually had to do dissections, that's so in detail. So how has been your experience so far? I mean, you are now doing your final year, which I think it has been such a journey. I mean, soon to be Dr. Mani. I'm so excited for you. I just want you to share, like, how has the journey been so far?
It has its ups and downs, like everything in life. And it's very mentally challenging, to be honest, because you are dealing with an actual patient with symptoms, who's in pain, and you can imagine someone who's been queuing for hours outside just to get a basic extraction. So they're already irritated, they're in pain, they just want you to make everything go away.
And you're just a student also.
And you're just a student, you're trying to learn, you're trying to see how to work with patients because they don't even teach you that. You need to learn how to work with patients.
You just learn on the go.
And for a dental student, you spend hours with one patient. So you have to learn how to interact and how to eventually solve a problem. Exactly.
Okay. So when do you start seeing patients?
We start seeing patients our group started seeing patients in third year, but we were supposed to see our patients in second year.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a crazy time because now I was like, I'm seeing a patient.
Oh yes.
This is not a mannequin. This is an actual person, and you literally have with dentistry. It's unfortunate. We have clinical blocks for maybe our longest clinical block was 2 weeks.
Really?
That for real?
I mean, really that short?
They're very short. For Crown and Bridge, it was a maximum of 2 weeks. And for preclinical clinical dentistry, I think it was days. It was actually days. Yes. So you have, let's say, a maximum of 2 weeks to learn how to work on a patient, how to do the procedure, the steps, everything, and then you move straight to the clinic.
Oh, is it like training before you go to the clinic?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say I'm learning how to do a crown. So I learn how to do the preps, I learn the different materials, I learn how to take the impressions for crowns in that 1 week, and then
you go
next time I do it in a patient.
Wow. And do you do it like under supervision or you shadow a doctor?
We're always under supervision. We always have our supervisors in clinics. They're always checking each step, the prep, the impression. Everything.
So it's also like sort of like a learning experience. It's not like just go and work. Okay. But I always can like imagine the transition between working with like mannequins and actually working
it's not
with
the same.
humans. It's literally not the same because like
it's not the same.
Blood in there, somebody's life is in danger. And do you guys get paid?
No. What do you think? This is not.
Oh
No,
my
I don't know what
God.
you think this is, but this is not.
I think we need to file for child abuse because
Period. Period.
I don't know why we are being exploited. This is pure slavery, by the way.
Slavery. We are working on
There's
patients,
no way.
doing
Because
clinical work for free.
we do the actual work.
For
Like
free.
it's not even we don't go to hospitals and
And then the hospital takes the money.
we do the actual work.
We
Like
do.
we actually decrease the workload that healthcare professionals have, who
That's
actually
exactly
get
what we do.
paid
That's
for
exactly
it.
what we do.
Because they can't argue that you guys don't make a difference. There's just no way.
There's no way. Imagine
we
if
do make such a difference. I don't know why we don't have a stipend. Like,
imagine if hospitals were just run by qualified doctors, qualified nurses,
my God,
qualified dentists,
No, shut
qualified.
the things they make us do,
They would never finish the work.
they
They would never. Patients will still be queuing for hours.
yeah, because like you said,
And
the
not
admin
getting
stuff, the ward work, most of the time it's our students who do that, and they get to do like the big stuff. But I think we should get paid. Like honestly, guys, I think we should start a protest.
And
Let's get
paid.
paid.
Let's get paid. All the health sciences.
Let's get paid.
And you know what's crazy? Some of them do get paid in pharmacy. They get paid.
Really?
Promise you. And in physiotherapy, they get paid.
Is it at UWC?
Yes, at UWC, I know
What?
some students. Yeah.
Hey,
In those courses, they get
no. We need fair treatment. We need.
paid. We're never gonna get it. We're never.
Like what?
It's insane.
So I just would like to ask you, what challenges have you been facing so far, or like what has been your biggest challenge as a dentistry student?
I feel like mental health is a big one, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna put that aside. Racial profiling.
Really?
Yes, it's a big thing, and you just have to. You don't know how you're gonna react in the situation because I know I'm black. I know I treat black people and non-black people. I know that, but once I get into that setting, that situation, I still don't know how to act. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna get upset or I'm gonna cry or.
Oh yes.
It's a very difficult thing. The racial profiling is a big thing with patients and supervisors, nepotism. Those are some of the
Yeah,
challenges
yeah.
I personally face and other students.
Yeah.
Because I also talk to students of color and we have similar experiences.
So does it come from the patients,
Yes,
or
it
does
does.
it's the patients mainly? It's not like your supervisors and the doctors.
I don't want to say names. I don't want to say names. I'm just
No,
going to
don't.
say yes.
Okay.
I'm just going to
I don't
say
want you to
yes.
mention names, but like I just want to know what is actually the source. Is it the patient saying, I don't trust black students, or is it the
Yes.
supervisor say you don't know much because you're black? He knows because he's white, type of thing.
Yes.
Is it both?
Yes.
Yo,
I'm
because
going to stick with yes. I'm going to stick with yes.
I feel like we experience that a lot, like as health sciences students in general.
You have to
When
work
it,
hard
yeah,
to improve
as
yourself.
you need to prove yourself as a black person that actually, especially as a female also, like actually I am worth to be here, I deserve to be here, I know my work, I can perform this procedure and stuff like that. I mean, we also experience it in medicine, and I'm sure that people in other like medical careers, your physios, your audiologists, they do actually like kind of like experience it, because I mean it is a real thing. And I feel like Cape Town specifically,
Child.
side eye.
I think it's because we're changing the face. You're changing the face of medicine. I'm changing the face of dentistry. So now that makes certain people uncomfortable because racial profiling doesn't just mean that I get it from non-blacks.
Yeah.
I also get it from black people. And they be like, I'm sorry, I rather have a certain race. I'm not gonna say
oh yes,
treat me
yes,
because
yes.
I know black dentists break teeth. So it's not specific. I don't want to make it. I don't want people to get the impression that it's just from.
No. White people. Okay. So as a final year student who has a lot of clinical work to do, what do you do to actually be able to keep up? Because I think it is really difficult. Like, it is something that I struggle with as well, like being able to balance clinical work and then actually being able to keep up with my work so that I'm ready for my tests and exams. Like, how do you do it?
How do I do it?
Yeah.
I pray a lot. I have to start there. I am a full-on believer.
Yeah.
I believe in God, and I pray when I feel like things are getting overwhelming for me. I always pray, make time to read a scripture, and that gives me the extra courage to go on and take on the week.
Yeah.
Another thing is planning out your work. That is a big thing. Put it in your calendar. Have a planner, a calendar plan. Just schedule your work properly. Schedule which patient you're going to see on this day. Are you going to see this one, or are you going to swap out this one because you have work to catch up on? You just need to plan.
And having a study timetable.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
Trust me. It works. You know that.
Yeah. Definitely.
It works.
I want to know, how were you able to like keep up with the content? Because I know as the degree goes, it becomes more clinical, but I'm sure like there are dentistry students out there who are doing their first year and their second year, third year, and they're actually wondering, wow, she's doing her final year. How did she get through your anatomy and all your physics and stuff like that? Like, how were you able to keep up with that content?
Okay. I do my studying during the week. So when I would come back from school, I remember in first year there was no clinics. So I would come back around, let's say 4, because that time I lived closer to the faculty. So I'd come back at 4, then I would go over my work. Then I would go over the work that might be covered for the next day. So that's how you work. You cover today's work, whatever you did in the lecture, and you try to touch on whatever's going to be done.
So you pre-read.
You pre-read.
Yeah.
And I also believe in making pre-notes. So you make your notes, and if you're not sure of something, you can always
ask in the lecture.
Exactly.
That works.
It works.
So I just want you to give advice to someone out there who's watching right now who'd like to study dentistry. Like, what piece of advice would you like to give to them?
I will say work hard at school if you're currently upgrading or you're in matric. Work hard at school. Try to get the best marks as possible. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Apply everywhere and anywhere. That is high key. And if you don't get into BDS, it's not the end of the world. Look into doing something like oral hygiene. It's going to give you the basic foundation of what BDS is all about. And then take it from there. Everyone's journey is different. We're all in different wavelengths. We're all going to get there eventually, but in our different times. So don't be too hard on yourself if the first time around it's a no.
Oh, thank you so much. That is such a brilliant advice and a brilliant conversation. Thank you once again for joining me and sharing more about your career. I hope people who are watching benefit from this conversation, and people who actually want to study dentistry are so inspired.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
My pleasure. It was great having you as well.
Yes, it was nice meeting you.
Thank you. So we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching the video up until this far. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video and share with everyone who'd like to know more about dentistry or who would like to study dentistry. If you are a health sciences student or a healthcare professional and you want to come and share with me your career or your journey through healthcare, please email me on the email becomingdrandy@gmail.com and we will make it happen. Please don't forget to give us feedback on how this episode was. We would like to hear your comments and your views. If you have any questions for the Tooth Fairy, comment them down below. So if you would like to follow Lulu's journey, you can follow her on her social media platforms. She goes by the name Tooth Fairy, so that you can grab more inspiration and more knowledge about dentistry. I'll see you again on another episode where I'll be having another amazing guest who will be sharing more about their career and their journey through healthcare.